This is Ron Finkelstein, and welcome to the Institute for Business Growth. This Sales Accelerator podcast was created to share best practices that allow businesses to grow sales and increase revenue. Each week, we have an expert on who has implemented specific strategies and tactics and programs in their business that resulted in phenomenal sales growth and increased revenue. As a reminder, go to instituteforbusinessgrowth.org and download your free report, 11 Reasons People Won't Buy From You. Again, instituteforbusinessgrowth.org.
This week, I'd like to introduce Andy Lembach from Spooner Incorporated. Welcome, Andy.
Hi, Ron. Hello, everyone.
Andy, I am really excited about the story that you have to tell today. Would you take just a few minutes and tell our listening audience a little about you and a little bit about what Spooner does, and then we'll go into our lesson, our story for the day.
Sure. So I'm Andy Lembach, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Spooner Risk Control Services. And we've got a really unique industry, and it's a niche within Ohio. Every employer in Ohio has to have workers' comp insurance to cover their employees. But unlike in other states, employers aren't afforded the luxury of going to their property casualty or their insurance broker and saying, "Hey, Andy, get me the best rates you can from Farmers and everyone else, and I'll line them all up and take whatever's the cheapest route." Ohio is one of the only states left in the United States that's monopolistic, meaning the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Comp is the beginning and the end when it comes to workers' comp insurance. But what the Bureau does allow is they allow companies like Spooner to pool employers together in a similar industry, and when you do that, the employers are looked at as one large employer instead of individual, so you get the group buying power. Now, I'm overly simplifying what we do, but in a nutshell, we are the advocate for the employer in the workers' comp system. We help them navigate all the changes and complexities in Ohio. We help them save money. But then we also tie in things like safety, because if you can prevent people from getting hurt, you're that much farther ahead of the game when you come to your workers' comp rates. So that's a little bit about me and a little about Spooner.
Fantastic. So our goal here is to review a specific situation, talk about why it was an opportunity, the action that you took, and the results that you achieved by taking action. So tell us a little bit about a specific opportunity that you had to address in order to either grow your business or continue to service your customers.
I mean, it was really a unique situation for us in the year 2008. We were made aware of that the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Comp was going to bring in a new program, and that new program was called Group Retrospective Rating. And what that program allowed us to do was pool employers together of all different kinds of risks and histories. And the Bureau would look at that pool and say, instead of giving an upfront savings, this group is going to have X amount of dollars in 2009. And then 2 years from now, retrospectively, we're going to take a look back, see what we estimated, and see what the actual costs were. And if the costs were less, we're going to start giving people back retrospectively some of that money back. Well, we knew at Spooner that the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Comp is not exactly a perfect system, but it's not exactly riddled with flaws either. But we knew that employers were paying more in premium than was actually being paid out in most situations. And we always focused on helping the companies that were not getting savings. We were helping the ones that were overpaying. So we figured if we know they're overpaying and we know we can control their costs and we can save them that way, this program is tailor-made for us. And everyone else in our industry stayed away from this program because they thought it was going to be a complete disaster. To give you a frame of reference, there were 7 groups that were formed in this group retro program in 2009, and 5 of them were Spooners. We knew that this was a perfect program for us because our cost control strategies always saved employers money. But we took it more than just our traditional, hard-nosed approach to workers' comp consulting and controlling costs. We made it mandatory that everyone that we bring into this group institutes a safe work culture. And everyone in that pool goes through a wall-to-wall inspection to make sure that they're safe. not only to protect their employees and protect that employer from OSHA fines, but we also wanted to protect everyone else in that group, because everyone else in that group their returns were based on the safety of everyone in that group. So that was a way for us to mitigate those safety issues if they were going to be a problem and insulate everyone.
Did you charge people for this new safety service, or was it bundled in as part of the program you were creating?
That's a great question, and we bundled it all in. It was all encompassing. So
your customers didn't have any additional cost by embracing this program?
No additional costs, and I'm glad you asked that. And actually, we took it a step further, and we didn't charge our clients any money for the program up front. And it was at a time in 2009. It was a time when the economy was, kind of on the skids, and everyone was tightening their belts, and we had clients going out of business because they couldn't stay in the black, and they were coming to us and asking us for concessions. So we decided, instead of charging an upfront fee for something that is speculative and retrospective, no one has an magic 8 ball telling them what's going to come back in 2 years from now. So we went at risk with our clients. We didn't charge anything up front, and all we asked was an incentive bonus for us, a percentage of whatever they got back, to incentivize us to institute those safety programs and to continue to do the hardcore cost control strategies that we implement here. We took an incentive, a percentage of whatever the employers got back, instead of charging them up front.
Well,
we put our money where our mouth is.
Well, the funny thing is and I don't mean funny in a ha-ha sort of way, but it's a great strategy because it was total risk reversal. There was no risk on your client's part to join Spooner, become part of these groups, because if you didn't perform and save them money, they had absolutely no risk.
Yeah.
So the real lesson here, guys, is if you know your market and you're confident in your product and service, risk reversal is a phenomenal way to grow. So, Andy, go ahead.
So, that program continues to be one of the best performing areas of our business, and it really helped us not only grow our workers' comp side of our business, but it really helped us grow our safety business, because we were going through and identifying any issues that these companies may have, and then we were able to go in and help those companies fix those safety issues. So that was enabled us to build up our safety practice as well. So,
did you have to change your sales strategy and your sales process to educate the sales force on how to sell this new program? And if so, what did that entail?
So the beautiful thing was we really didn't have to adjust our sales process at all, because it was still the same, the exact same process the sales process that we've been doing for years, and that we have a history that we can show of driving companies' costs down, and that driving those costs down equals savings for the companies. But now we actually had, moving forward, we had the actual statistics from the Bureau showing how much money that we were able to get our clients back, not only from the safety side and from the workers' comp side, but from the actual refunds that were returned from the Bureau of Workers' Comp.
So that's all the sales rep had to do, was go in, present the program, and say, when it came time to tell them how much it cost, that there was no cost to it.
And we've got skin in the game. I mean, that's the
We're
biggest
partners
thing.
in this.
Now we're partners in it. We're putting our money where our mouth is. We will go completely at risk with you, and we're so confident that we're able to do this. And sure, you can talk to our clients, you can talk to our references, you can talk to other people in the industry. Hell, you can call the people at the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Comp. But at the end of the day, Spooner gets results, not excuses. And by going at risk with our clients and going and having skin in the game, we were able to show that we are able to back up with what we're doing. So
yeah, and that model that Spooner used works because for certain clients, I will actually do that risk reversal as well. If I don't perform, I won't charge them. So tell me, what was the impact to the business as a result of implementing this whole new risk reversal where the customer has no risk at all, and you're saying we're in this together, and depending how much we save depends how much we're going to earn from you. So what'd that do to the business from a bottom line perspective?
Our revenues increased probably anywhere from 25 to 30%. And again, it was like it was not only the workers' comp portion of it and the group retro program, but everything that came secondary to that, the safety and all the other services that we provide as as a tail on that.
Did you charge them for those other services? So the workman's comp was risk reversal. If we don't perform, it doesn't cost you anything. The other programs, some of them you mentioned you bundled in.
Yeah.
Did you charge extra for those other services?
So with the workers' comp services, that was all bundled with a mock OSHA inspection, if you will. What I mean by a mock OSHA inspection is our safety professionals would go into every company and look at the physical premises, and the risk that those employers would go through. And if I was an OSHA inspector, I would cite you for this, this, and this. So that was also included in the cost of the group retrospective program and our services. Now, when it went up and above that, it was when we had to actually go in and actually do any safety work to help with, say, guarding or putting together a formalized safety program or fix any of those problems for that client. Then they would engage us separately.
Well, in addition to the risk reversal, there was a really, truly consultative sell here, because you walk through and you help them understand, in fact, that they did have a problem, and then not only did you help them understand that, you helped them understand how you could solve it.
Absolutely. And that's really, I mean, for most employers, that's very empowering, because they know very well that this isn't with workers' comp and with OSHA. There is no sticking your head in the sand and saying, "Oh, well, geez, I didn't know about that." Usually, what happens is they don't know about it. They don't know what they don't know, and not to sound cliche, they don't know what they don't know, and then it takes a huge fine or citation for them to wake up. So this, by bundling the safety program as part of that group retrospective program, we were able to help employers avoid any of those problems, and they were aware of it. So even if OSHA did come in, they knew that they were that OSHA inspector knew that they were working with Spooner, and they were aware of the problem, and this is what they've done in the short term to fix it, and in the long term through stepped marked improvements, mostly because of the cost that would go along with some of these fixes. They had remediated that problem, and they were in the process of fixing it. So it helped employers keep their employees safe, avoid costly fines, and be OSHA compliant all at the same time.
To put this in perspective in terms of the cost avoidance they experienced with OSHA, what are some of the fines that a business needs to be aware of if they're not compliant in this safety arena?
Let's just put it this way. I've seen businesses go out of business because of
the fines
that are that large. And, there's, even with the safest workplaces, an OSHA inspector, just like any good government entity, they're going to find something.
Mm-hmm.
But what we've been able to do over the years is, obviously we want to help with the prevention side before it ever comes a problem, but we've been able to go in and help represent employers from a defense standpoint. So say OSHA came in, riddled them with all these citations, the employer will engage us, and we will represent them at informal conferences and get those fines either removed or severely reduced, with the caveat that they engage Spooner in the services to remediate those problems that we brought to the OSHA professional that we're bringing to this informal conference.
So this just kind of feeds on itself. It just kind of grows and keeps morphing into more business and newer clients.
Absolutely.
Outstanding.
And the most rewarding thing was, we knew that this program was gonna work for us based on our processes, and everyone in our industry thought we were going to have egg on our face, and we proved them all wrong. We used to have a problem with people, in some situations, not all situations, slow paying. This program, waiting 2 years to bill, and up to 2 or 3 or 4 years to bill for this incentive, we actually have clients now thanking us, because we're not billing them until they get their money, so they know they're getting a bill from us because they just get a huge check from the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Comp, so they're actually thanking us for billing them. Not only for billing them, I should say, thanking us for introducing this program to them, showing them how it works, and putting that money back into their bottom line. They're able to hire new workers. They're able to invest in new equipment. They're able to expand.
What has that done for your customer loyalty?
Our customer satisfaction rating and our customer retention level is like in the 90s. and it's usually always in the 90s because we've taken that true, hands-on approach with our clients, and it costs us more. It forces us to charge our clients more than but it's only comparative to what else they have available to them out in the industry.
Right.
Most employers that run into someone in my industry, they may hear from them once a year, and it's at renewal time. And then they get their check and they scurry away, and you never hear from them again.
I got you.
Yeah, and this with this program, everyone else is. I mentioned that we had 5 of the 7 groups. Everyone is in this program now, which is fine. We still know that our groups outperform everyone else because our process is tried and true. But our clients and our prospective clients, they look at it from the perspective of, okay, I'm going to pay some company a percentage of savings up front for things that I'm not going to get paid for 2 years from now. And what kind of history can they go back on to justify what I'm going to get back? They're going to be long gone. That cash is spent and gone. It still goes back to what we did in 2009. It still works. It resonates with most people that, yeah, Spooner's going to be along here side by side, hand in hand with me, shoulder to shoulder, all the way through to make sure that I get the most money back.
That's a fantastic business model. Let me see if I can summarize this a little bit. Because of changes in the law, you created an innovative program that literally took all the risk out of doing business with you, created a long-term customer loyalty program, and it was purely your customers. You were paid when your customers save money. How is that? What's the lose here for? Is there a lose here for anybody? I'm not seeing a downside here, other than the fact that you may have to wait 2 years to get your money.
No, there really isn't a downside at all. I mean, we've completely insulated our clients from the exposure of paying for something you're not going to get. They only pay us when they get paid. It's as simple as that.
That's
and we have the history, we have the proof to back it up.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you've done some great things in the past. Let me put you on the spot.
Yeah.
What are you going to do going forward to try to maintain that significant growth rate that you were able to achieve with those changes in the law and how you responded?
Well, as I mentioned, a second ago, everyone else is in this industry now. So everything, is with any business, not just mine, is constantly changing. So how do I get in front of more people? What I've really relied on recently to help grow my business, and what I'm really working hard on is forming really good, strong referral relationships with similar companies in the same space. For instance, working with insurance brokers from the property casualty side to the health and life side, and working with consultants in the CFO area, CPAs, everyone that's helping small businesses grow. More importantly, companies like Spooner that are committed to Ohio employers, they're committed to Ohio growth and helping Ohio companies succeed. That's really what I'm focusing on right now, is those great referral relationships and holding everyone accountable in that situation, because no one wants referrals to be one-sided. They have to be reciprocal.
Yeah, just for our listening audience, just so they understand, when you talk about an accountant, for example, an accountant will go in and understand the business's books and see what they're actually paying for workman's comp. And then when you create a relationship for them, they can call you and say, hey, can you help us with this? So what does the accountant get in return?
So I could say this for accountants, and I could say this about just about every other industry that I rattled off to you. Workers' comp is so unique in Ohio, and it's so difficult. And just like Spooner has been able to build up great rapport with our clients, and our clients come to us for many things outside of workers' comp, they want us to be the expert in everything, but we're not. So what I give to CPAs and all the other referral partners is I give them that ability to provide that great resource, that great tool when it comes to workers' comp and safety. I deliver that to their clients and help them look good in the process, because if they could, they would provide the workers' comp expertise. They would provide the safety forum, but you can't be everything to everyone. So I'm able to step in, help them, and help their clients get the savings and service that they so desperately need in Ohio.
For our listening audience, this is really important, because when Andy gets an introduction, say, to an accountant, the accountant is basically saying, I am giving you my trust for this client. And when he walks in, the chances of closing the business in that kind of relationship is very, very high. So with that being said, let's wrap this up. Thank you, Andy. I really appreciate that.
If you want to learn more about how you can apply these best sales practices in your business, go to the instituteforbusinessgrowth.org and download your free report, 11 Reasons People Don't Buy From You.